That was cool as fuck.
That was cool as fuck.
That was cool as fuck.
Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my...
Dude,
Hey!
we do cool shit here.
You know what? You know what this was? This is the intro.
Yeah.
Because we just finished that, and that was cool as fuck.
That was cool as fuck. Welcome to Bacon is My Podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, this would be the outro, but it's actually the intro.
It's actually the intro. We're going to Tarantino it for you.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, how is your week going? Our week is pretty good.
Yeah.
You know why? Because we hung out with PCO.
Yeah.
And now you're going to hang out with PCO now.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Oh, my God.
What a cool conversation.
It was...
What a cool dude. What a cool mindset. What a cool everything. Man. I can't even express how awesome it is to just continuously be inspired by the people that we are lucky enough to have hang out with us.
Right. I mean, shoot, man. Like this dude.
Yeah.
So he's and he says it at the very end. He's an open book, and it's really cool to watch a guy that has done so much. The guy was a major part of the golden era of WWF.
Yeah.
And
feuded with Bret Hart.
Well, over his jacket.
But still, Bret Hart was my hero, man.
And Bret Hart has nothing but amazing things to say about him.
Yeah.
And he wishes that it was a better circumstances why they feuded.
Right, yeah.
But be that as it may,
Regardless.
he retired. He came back with just a super cool mindset. Like,
yeah,
dude,
it's a great example of somebody that did something and was good at it for a very long time and achieved a lot of success, but not what they wanted and not what they thought they deserved, and then got kind of screwed.
just change their perspective.
But changed their perspective later and came back and is enjoying an entire second career.
Right.
And killing it. Like, dude's
doing
killing it.
Great. What we allude to it a lot in the episode, but tomorrow he is officially a free agent. So
Yeah.
he's currently an ROH superstar. Tomorrow may or may not be.
Right. At the time of the interview, we had no idea where he was going. We might know better now, at the time of you guys listening to this. But it, it doesn't even matter because he's making goals and he's achieving them and he's checking boxes and he's just cool, man. He's just a cool dude.
Yeah.
It's inspiring. And I sound like a broken record all the time when I say it, but it's like people who are super passionate about what they do inspire the hell out of me because I'm always struggling and trying to continue to keep that super passion about the things I do.
Exactly.
So for everybody that's listening, that thing that you are passionate about, that thing that you have a drive for, it's a person that has that just like you do, and he just fed everything into it.
Yeah.
And created a successful
paying dividends.
Yeah.
So before we get into it, please make sure you check out all of our awesome sponsors. We got drinkwildbills.com. We've got grillyourassoff.com. We've got poddex.com. All of them use the promo code BACON. You get 10% off your order. So again, that's drinkwildbills.com, grillyourassoff.com, poddex.com. And
it helps the show.
And keeps it free.
Yep, keeps it free, keeps us doing this. And if you guys want to help us in another way and you're more inspired, jump over to patreon.com/baconismypodcast. Check it out. There are many tiers. There are super low prices. It's not like a crazy thing, but what it does is it helps us. And what it does what we do on there is we just offer more shows. We offer more content. We offer ad-free shows, longer shows, extra stuff, live streams, music, all kinds of stuff. Jump over to patreon.com. For all of you that are our patrons, those of you on the BIMP squad, thank you guys so much. You help in ways that you have no idea. Honestly, everything we do, we couldn't do if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you for helping us keep this thing going. But yeah, if you're interested in being a part of that and being part of that team, please jump over to patreon.com, check it out, see if it's something you'd be interested in. If not, whatever, no big deal. If so, awesome.
Thank you.
You are now part of the family. Cool. Other than that,
let's get into this
yeah,
episode.
check out this.
So good.
Yeah, check out this interview. It's super fun. We had a really good time.
Check it out.
When?
Oh, this game again?
Now.
Now.
All right. So, we just played the fair, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw our new sponsor next to us at the fair.
Right.
Right? Any of you that have ever been to festivals, one of the coolest spots to go to is that spot that's selling you sodas where the copper mugs.
Oh, they're the best.
Wild Bill's, dude.
Yes. And you don't just have to go to a fair to get their stuff anymore. You can go to drinkwildbills.com and they'll send it right to your house.
They sent that ginormous box to us.
Huge box
Yeah.
of stuff, and it made me realize that Wild Bill's isn't just soda.
Yeah, I thought it was at first, but man, the jerky and
nuts and coffee.
Oh man, snack foods, coffee, everything.
And if you go there now, drinkwildbills.com, use the promo code BACON, of course, and you get 10% off.
Oh, dude, check it out. Stick with us because we're going to be letting you know how that coffee tastes. We're going to be doing some tasting episodes on literally everything in the box.
Yes.
So stick with us. But, dude, you've had it. You've been at fairs. I bought it. I bought that mug. It's awesome. I love it.
And now, again, we're heading into the winter months. It's going to get a little colder. No more fairs. Just have it delivered right to your door.
Drinkwildbills.com.
Yeah.
Easy for me to say. Once. Check it out. Promo code BACON.
This is Paul Bromwell from adfreeshows.com, and you're consuming Bacon is My Podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show, the one, the only.
Yeah.
The French-Canadian Frankenstein, former ROH world champion, six-man tag champion, NWA champion. He's been in WWE, WCW, you name it. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. PCO, sir, thank you for joining us. Much appreciated.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, this is awesome. Thank
you for having me on.
Of course, of course.
We appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much. Where are you coming to us from right now?
I'm in on the suburb of Montreal, Quebec, Canada right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. You are, what is he, our third?
I think you're our third Canadian.
Our third Canadian.
And what we've learned from Canada is you guys definitely have maple syrup in your blood because everybody's so sweet from there.
Everybody is so nice.
Everybody's super, super nice to us from Canada.
Cool.
It's been a total pleasure. Yeah. Although
we'll see how it goes.
I was gonna say he is not made of maple syrup because I've seen him do brutal things to himself and others.
Yeah. I mean, just jumping right into it, like the things that you do in the ring now, and for I'm sure this gets brought up a lot and stuff like that, but like you're 53 years old, you're going to be 54 soon, but you do things that guys like half your age are afraid to do on like major shows, right?
Yeah.
So like you get your WWEs, your AEWs, and they're like, but you go out there and with or without a crowd, you're taking these crazy bumps, and here you are, you're still doing it every day. I mean, how do you do it?
It's just about, I love doing it, like I feel great doing it. Like it's not something that forces me. It's something that I enjoy. It's just crazy, I guess. But I really like when I do something pretty crazy, whatever it's like moonsault on the outside on people, or senton on the side of the ring on the apron and on someone, or on the apron and rolling, like someone moves out and I hit the apron and I roll out, or from top rope to the power bomb at the Madison Square Garden from
Oh my God,
inside the ring to to
I
the
was
outside
there for
of the
that
ring,
too.
right on the cement floor. It's I don't know, like sometimes I thrive for those moments, because while I just got thrown out, it's like I know it's like the time stops for while I'm in the air before I know I'm gonna hit hard on the ground, and it just feels great. I don't know. It's like I remember, like I wanted to do that so badly at the Gardens and MSG, and all the New Japan officials were no, please, no. And then I'm like, yes. I'm not human. I'm not
Right.
human.
Right.
It's the gimmick. What don't you understand?
Now that
no. And it was a big argument. And then Brody King knows me, well enough that he finally told him, you know what? Let him do it, because he's gonna do it anyways. So and then finally they said, okay, we'll do it. And then
that's
I had to fight my way over it. Like nobody wanted it to happen. But I knew. Even Destro, he goes, I'm not driving back, because we had the hearse, and we brought, like, not the hearse, but a big truck with the electric chair and so much stuff. So we drove there, and Destro's like, I'm not driving back by myself. I need you to come back. I said, don't worry. When you're doing your feats of strength, let's say you break a wrench on your leg, or you can do it, or whatever. Like we've done so many things together, and I know he's doing like dangerous stuff. But I told him, what you can control, what you can handle. So let me do it, because I know I can handle that. So he said, yeah, you're right. So, I like the way you think, and the way you brought it to me, and said, yeah, do it. So I did it.
that was such an incredible spot, and then you do the sit up afterwards.
Yeah.
I popped.
Yeah, I wanted to sit up and probably hit like my moonsault later on, and go on with it or do something crazy. But in the meantime, I knew it was already something big, and it's almost impossible, like to sit up from that. So I was kind of happy with it, but I would have liked to bring it to another level, but you got to make everybody happy. It's a give and take business. It's not the shine all the time.
Well, for the people that might not know or might not follow you, I just want to get into a little bit of like explaining like who Destro is, because you brought him up. Now, Destro brought you back to life for one.
Yeah.
And one thing people can do is if they jump online right now and they jump on YouTube and stuff, they can find this really like crazy video series that you did with like these insane like workouts you were doing, where you were like doing feats of strength. You were doing like you got shocked while you were lifting weights. You ripping the cards apart and everything. And Destro was a big part of that. And Destro is he's also a performer. He was online. He did feats of strength. He's done stuff for years. Can you explain just a little bit, like, how did you guys find each other, and how did that kind of like help you or move you on to that next phase of your career? Because that was a big part of you kind of coming back in.
Yeah, well, that show, let's say 10, 15 years ago, he weighed in about 300 pounds. So, and he was doing like, he was a destroyer. So he was like,
Yeah.
he's probably the most actual, not famous, but pound for pound, the strongest man right now on the planet with different things, like with hand grips and uh, it's hard to explain, but they are all time barbells, all time strongman, feats of strength, barbell club, whatever they. It's a club of everybody who does that. Like, I'm not really familiar with all those names in the United States, but uh, uh, I think
US people might know like Mark
stainless
Henry, or
stainless steel, and Big Buff, and
Big Buff. Yeah.
yeah. There's so many of them. They do different tricks, and they. So he went over there, and because they want to certify if the nails that he bends, if they're real, and because there's there's a big part of that it's like a show, and they want to approve all your stuff, so the nails, the decks of cards,
make sure it's legit.
Yeah, it's legit, and everybody's got it tried. So basically, from everybody there, they all approve his things, and they couldn't believe how crazy he was and how much stuff he was doing, and yeah, so.
So how did you guys come together, and how did
yeah
he
that's
become a
what I
part of
wanted
your
to say.
team?
When he was about 300, I wanted to approach him because he's a big star in my area, so everybody knows him, and he was doing a lot of shows, and I wanted to approach him to do something where, as a big guy, it would be on the outside. If someone was there, he was going to snap his leg in half, or do things with his hands, and show all the strengths, and it'd be on the outside with like some sort of a bodyguard, and use all the strengths, because he can, like, he puts like two fry pan on top of each other. So he was rolling two, maybe he could do three. Everything's like so insane. Like he did the world record for the XF card. It was like I don't know, 200, or I don't even know the numbers, but in 10 minutes, it's just crazy. His hands were bleeding. He bent a penny, the money on TV, which is crazy. Yeah, it's insane. So I thought, maybe we'll expose all his strength, and then he could help me get some win, when I was in New York or trying out for WWE. So after my big runs, so after the Quebecers, after the Jean-Pierre Lafitte, so I wanted to bring him in. So I went to see him. He was not interested at all. So then time went by, and he lost 168 pounds that he lost. So I was already impressed by the weight loss. He's been keeping it off since those times, about 10, 15 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. So now he's 135, kept all his strength, and he's just a guru in the entertainment and the sports, conditioning and things like that. So I went to see him for that, and then we hooked up as friends, training together. And then I discovered that he was a big fan of monsters and feats of strength, and he wanted to gel all that together and train me and show me how to do it. And so one day we were just working out together in his gym, and I got out of the cage squat, and I was walking towards the wall, and he says, "Hey man, you walk just like Frankenstein." And then I didn't take it
No
like
knees.
no, it's mostly the way I go sideways, like I'm put
Okay.
on bearings or something. So it's just the way I walk. It's like nonchalant walking or something. I don't know what it is. Like everybody's laughing at me when I walk, like in front of them.
Man, everybody's got a rhythm.
So I knew when he said that, I knew what he meant because I've heard it before. But not the Frankenstein walk, but I've heard something different. People making fun of me and things like that. So I knew exactly what he meant, and I was kind of into the idea because I thought it was going to be a cool character. And then the ideas kept popping into our heads, and it's just been like so much fun. It's been
awesome.
already like more than 4 years on
Yeah.
doing this.
Well, that's you adopted like jumping onto like the YouTube idea and making these videos on the side and releasing them and kind of doing almost your own
character
promotion,
development.
your own character development, all this kind of stuff. Before that was even a thing that everybody was doing. And like now, of course, like everybody's keeping their characters on Twitter and everybody's, keeping their feuds going and trying to stay in their thing. But like you were doing that early. Was that something like, did you know that was like, hey, this is a way we can further the character. Here's a way I can try and book some things. Here's a way I can get people interested. Or was it just fun?
No, I just did it. I didn't know it was going to have like such an impact on my career. I just thought it was like, to me, it's like, okay, we're starting something, then we gotta do it every Monday.
Right.
For me, the discipline is to be, as you say, you come out every Monday, you have to come out every Monday. And that was just to be really dedicated to what was the, if we said like once a week, we had to be creative. We had to come up with stuff. Some weeks, you don't want to because you're tired, just back from the road, but you have to always push yourself like anything else in life. It's like, I just think it was like just being hard on it and being disciplined about it. And then I think that was the first goal. It was just, no matter what the results are, we just have to push ourselves and do one a week.
To stay
And
consistent.
that was the focus. That was the main idea. It was not about the results. It was about just delivering every week. The greatest content that we could ever come up with, regardless of the impact.
We'll be right back.
All right, Jim Z. You think grilling season is over?
Almost, right?
No. Grilling season is never over because of a new sponsor of ours.
Ooh, what is it?
GrillYourAssOff.com.
I love the name already.
Yeah. It's a veteran-owned company that sells spices, barbecue sauces, cool swag, even cookbooks.
Oh, you know what? You sent me a link to that. I checked it out. That was awesome. They had some cool recipes right on their site. That was pretty awesome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's for free. But now that they're a sponsor, they've decided that if you use the promo code BACON, you get 10% off your order.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm ready. I'm definitely ordering some spices. They had a couple that looked really killer.
Yeah, and it's really, there's so many different selections that there's really a spice for everybody. The guys that are like heat heads, and even the people that just want something subtle, delicious, sweet, whatever it is, they've got something for everybody.
Awesome. Did we order any? Did we have any coming?
We've got some coming.
Nice.
And we're going to do some tasting episodes over on the Patreon.
Awesome. So
With
stick
a little bit
around.
of grill your ass off stuff.
Stick around, everyone, because once we get those in, we're going to taste them, we're going to go through them, and then we're going to let you know what we think and maybe give you some choices that we would kind of go for.
So once again, head over to grillyourassoff.com, use that promo code BACON, and get 10% off.
Sweet.
This is Sam and Kristen from Conquer Divide, and you're consuming Bacon is my podcast.
Even if it
That's-
has no impact.
That's awesome, and it's really smart, and it's something like we have a lot of listeners that like we have listeners that are musicians, we have listeners that are podcasters, we partner with other shows and stuff like that, and that's just such good, like, it's good advice,
Life
like,
advice or career advice,
Yeah.
just in general.
just having that foresight to kind of go, hey, we're just going to do the best possible content we can for this. And then when it's done, we'll do the next best possible content we have for the next thing, and staying consistent, because it's so hard to stay consistent. That's one of the other things that I admire a lot. Doing more research on you and your career and looking at it and listening to interviews with you and stuff. One of the big things that I took from it is just a lot of that, like setting goals, and you have this big overreaching goal, but then setting those small goals and staying consistent, because you're super consistent.
Yeah,
know?
the small goals every day. Sometimes it's hard. Like sometimes it could be months. You don't see results. Like everything that I decide to do, whether it's a wrestling thing in the ring, that's gonna take me maybe 6 to 8 months to achieve. But I'm being consistent, being very consistent about it, like every
Right.
day. Like I've never done a moonsault before when I decided to start doing one, and I had a lot of failures, and I went on the net many times. Like I started on the trampoline, and I was bashing my heads all over the place and scraping my knees and not doing it right, and I went to see a coach, then another coach, then until I just kept on doing it until it was was good enough for me to do in the ring. So it's just same thing, everything. I'm trying to right now, kind of walk on the top rope, and it's been a while since I've been spending maybe, sometimes it's not all much time a day, let's say 10-15 minutes a day, but every day I do it though. Like every day that I have access to my ring, every day that I'm at home, I'm gonna do it. If I can't have access, I won't, but every day that I can have access, I'll do it. And I'm telling you the truth, I can't do what I want to do yet, but I'm close, but I'm trying.
Well, just the word yet is the best part about that, because like so many people get to a point where they're good at what they do, or even great at what they do, and then they go, okay, cool, I'm great at what I do, and they coast. And that's I think personally, and I could be totally wrong, but I think that's how you lose your passion for things. I think the minute you stop learning and stop growing and stop going, oh, I want to do that now. Oh, I want to do that now, is when you start to lose that passion. And watching you like adapt your move set, change your style, change your look, change your character, figure out new ways to go, the way you approach matches, promos, all that kind of stuff. There's always something new that you're trying. And there's always something new that you're putting in there. And it seems like you're always super passionate about it. And just hearing you say like you're trying to walk the top rope right now, I'm like, dude, still like you're killing it. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's also I want to hop on the top, like from the outside with no hands, just stepping on
right
the
up
top
onto the
rope.
apron?
But
Right.
like everybody hold his balance with both hands, And I'm
Right.
telling myself, no, don't use her ends. I want to do it like just with just one rope, the other rope. And sometimes, it's dangerous because I train by myself. One time I did it, I missed on one side and I ended up on the back on the cement floor. And if I would have knocked myself out, it would have been tough, but I got
Yeah.
up and I did it again. So, but I
How is-
remember I went straight to Destro's house and said, wow, man, what a bump I took. I was like trying my thing, hopping on the top rope, and then I ended up on my back downstairs. So
I hear a lot
crazy.
of I hear a lot of professional wrestlers say that everybody has a bump card that fills up and you have a certain amount that you can do. Do you believe that, or do you believe like, yeah, man, yeah, I have unlimited bumps as long as I take care of myself?
Oh, bumps, I don't believe in the amount of bumps you can take in your life
Yeah.
or in your career. Like right now, honestly, my body feels like, as far as taking bumps, my body feels like I'm a rookie just starting today. That's how I feel.
That's
Like
amazing.
sometimes, like I choke slam someone, and as I throw him up for the choke slam, I can see in his eyes that bump's gonna be hard for him, And
Right.
I wish I could switch myself with himself because those are the bumps that I love taking. So
Okay.
I don't know why it does that to people. Like seriously, and it's not taking anything away. Like everybody's got
No, not at
No.
all.
things,
yeah.
Like for me, bumping. I always loved bumping. Always. It was always a big part of my game. So when we
Yeah.
came out with that Frankenstein, the French-Canadian Frankenstein, and not being human, and I'm not human anymore,
Right.
or he's not human, that felt like, okay, now I can really exploit, everything that I've been in this business before that I couldn't, like, people couldn't understand. Why would he go to the top rope and miss a front flip on the cement floor for nothing? But now we got
Right.
a reason, he's
Right.
because
He's
he's
not
not
human.
Because he
human.
just-
Yeah.
Right.
So it was like I was a little bit ahead of my time with that, but it works perfectly now.
So you bring up the is not human thing. We had our buddy BRCD Bruiser on a couple of weeks ago, and I had a hot take. Okay, so you're teaming with Danhausen, which is awesome, and you guys wrestled at the first ROH pay-per-view with fans back on the pre-show. This is my hot take. You're not human, therefore Danhausen is using a foreign object. Therefore, Beer City Bruiser and Brian Molinas win by disqualification.
Oh.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, it's not what happened though, huh?
I mean, it's not what happened, but it's what I think should happen. So
Yeah.
if you're not human, you're a foreign object, right?
Yeah, that could be good. I mean, there's so many ways we could go about it. It's
All right, I'm not trying to like
no.
disqualify you
I
every
like
match.
those ideas because that's gonna stay in my mind for a while now. It's good. I like the input.
I'm just saying, you're not human. You're a foreign object, and
Yeah,
that's
that
okay.
could be
That's
great.
okay.
That could be
Yeah.
great, and it could
That's
be
not wrong.
disqualified for using a foreign object. Which is
Right.
Cool. Yeah.
Anytime you get in the ring, it's a disqualification.
Right.
It's an unfair advantage.
That could be
That's
the new
awesome.
streak.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That could absolutely be the new streak.
So you brought up the first match back after the pandemic. I wanted to ask you, like, so I saw an interview with you where you were talking about like how you found out about the pandemic and things being closed, and how you were at a gym and things were getting closed and you were going to have to wrestle in front of nobody and stuff like that. What I wanted to ask is, so one of the things I have a huge amount of respect for, and it's also kind of yeah, I'm in a touring band and we've played in front of one person, like the bartender, like we go to shows and sometimes, hey, you're in Ohio tomorrow and nobody knows about the show and the promoter didn't promote it and no one's there and you're there for the bartender. But to me, I'm going to put on a show for that bartender as if that bartender is at Madison Square Garden and it is the biggest show of my life.
Yeah.
Because if someone's there to see me, I'm going to give them everything I got. And you definitely are 1,000% that, you know what I mean? And I respect that a lot. But that obviously makes everything kind of tougher. And it makes it tougher sometimes.
Very tough.
It makes it tough to stay motivated sometimes because like I've been to those shows where it's like, okay, I guess I'm going to do this. And I'm not throwing myself off of a top rope onto concrete. I'm just singing some songs. I'm not in danger at all. I'm not putting myself at any kind of risk. And you are 100%. What was it like all of a sudden to be performing for nobody? And a follow-up to that, like, are you at more of a risk for if you don't go 100%? Do you risk hurting yourself more than if you are just at 100%? Because at 100%, you're doing everything you can do. At 50% or 75%, is there a higher chance of injury or hurting yourself? What do you think?
Of course, 50%, there's half of the chance that you're not going to get injured. Like if you don't take risk, you're not going to get injured that much. So taking risk is something that involves maybe some injuries sometimes, who knows, trying to not to get injured, but accident happens. Like I remember one time I had an electrical malfunction and I hit the ropes and I dove on where there's nobody and the crowd went crazy for it. But I flew over the mat and I hit the cement floor and I had like 17 stitches on top of my eye, four on the outside, and I think it's this one here, and 4 on the inside and 13 on the outside. It was pretty messy, but it felt great, the whole thing felt great. It's just I hated to have to take a CAT scan at the hospital and getting repaired, but at least we shot a good video at the hospital. I had like some people from the dojo. I told them hold my phone, and while she's sewing me, I'm like,
I was gonna ask, but I already knew.
Good job. Good job. And the fact. And that girl, was taking care of me. That nurse was going crazy. She said, "I've never seen anything like that." It was cool. I made her night.
The fact that you got 17 stitches, and you're just like, "This is great content."
Well, yeah,
this is great.
You know what's funny is I already knew the answer to my question because it was like,
no, but I wanted to take advantage of the whole thing. Might as well being there and having to go through this. Might as well turn it into a positive.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can see that. I can see okay, you got a gash above your eye. You don't know what's happening, but the first thought is is somebody getting this on film? Somebody getting this. So again, back to the other thing is what was that like when all of a sudden there were no people there? You know what I mean? Did you find it hard to do the same things or
No, I mean, it wasn't hard to do the same things, but it was just, it's just that you're losing the vibe, the people are such a big part. It's like a communication between the crowd and the performer. It's like we're always feeding off each other, and that's when you realize that the crowd is the most, sometimes we'll say talent is the most important thing, and sometimes we'll say production is the most important thing, but the crowd is also the most important thing. I mean, without them, it's just a different thing. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's not as fun. It's not as. I don't know. I'm just feeding off the crowd so much
Yeah.
of their energy, and sometimes if you're into a sequence and then they really want more and more and more, you can just drag something. You don't have to always be like a robot and just just be so choreographed. You can stretch in between segments and things like that. So that's what I like about the crowd. They kind of dictate the way of the match. The way of the things are going, and got to be really attentive to the crowd and really work with the crowd. So it's something that was just hard, but it's probably a great experience overall. But yeah, I've been there when I started in the business too. I've been in front of 10 people and 15 people and 20 people. So it was not different to I was not different to that situation. I've lived it before, but also you have to think, you need only one person to see it and to change it into something else. That's how I look at it. Well, that's how I get like really passionate about things. You don't know how many eyes from the tape that are watching it after that on TV or on YouTube, or all it takes. It's just a phone call, or whatever. It's a say I'm going to go with movies or commercials or just being endorsing a good product. It's just someone that clicks on the character. So that's why I'm always saying, okay, maybe there's nobody here. There'll be people after watching the show, and it's there forever. Once it's on YouTube, it's there forever. So I'm always trying to push the right buttons and find the right reason why I need to perform. I need to give my my best efforts and give my 100%.
Commercial break.
What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. And before we get into this week, if one episode just isn't enough for you and you need a little bit more Bacon is My Podcast, head on over to patreon.com/Bacon is My Podcast. Over there, you will get access to monthly live streams, discounts on merch, early and commercial-free access to Bacon is My Podcast episodes. Some of them are even extended surprise giveaways, additional shows, including Tasting is My Passion, and, of course, Cooking with Bacon is My Passion. And oh yeah, you get a crap ton of music. That's right, all of Jimmy and Mike's bands, previous, current, whatever it is, you will get access to that music, demos, and much, much more. Just head on over to patreon.com/Bacon is My Podcast and learn what the hoopla is all about.
Hey, I'm Mickett from Rivals, and you're consuming Bacon is My Podcast.
That's awesome.
Do you have the crowd in your head while you're telling the story? Do you even when there was no crowd there? Were you were you approaching it like filming a movie would be, or would you approach it like I have the crowd in my head and I'm telling the story?
They're gonna pop here.
You approach it as a live show because it's gonna be shown on TV and on YouTube and on different platforms. So yeah, when people be watching it, it'll be for them. It'll be like watching a live show. So that's you want to place your stuff in a way where they're gonna be surprised, or they're gonna be doubtful, or they're gonna be impressed, or whatever the emotions you're trying to make them feel. You think as if they were there.
Yeah. That's really awesome. And so something that I wanted to touch on is, again, so this is your eve of becoming a free agent, and we're not going to go into exactly what you're going to do and everything like that. But I love the fact that you're approaching these things, especially, you know, like we talked the pandemic and stuff like that, is that you're approaching it as if it's still another opportunity.
Mhm.
And you've been doing this for a long time. You've been doing it all these years. You came in with, you know, huge names in like the golden era of WWF and stuff like that. And you've wrestled all the names, but here you are, you're still how many years later, and you're still approaching it like this could still get me something else.
Right.
And I love that mentality. I love the way that you're approaching it. It's super cool. So ROH is in a weird spot with, you know, just kind of their turnover, their change and stuff like that. But how much of the like the young talent, does the young talent at all like rub off on you with that kind of attitude and stuff like that? Or is that just something that you had and you're rubbing off on them? Because here we are in 2021 and the wrestling landscape is just wide open.
Crazy right now. Yeah.
Just wide open.
Yeah.
So are you kind of instilling that in them, or is that kind of igniting in you because you're seeing them?
I don't know. Like I probably, for me, I know it works the other way around. You know, I'm rubbing off on them. You know, I want all those change, and I want to evolve with what's going on with them and with the business. And I don't want to always go back to what we used to do. I want to be to what we need to be doing now to have success. So that's my mentality. As far as maybe my mindset, maybe that could be something where someone could like be saying like to you know, rub off me maybe, or take from me or use from me or something, or ask questions about it. And but it seems like that's the way I think about it. Maybe people like to listen to, you know, like to those like podcasts or documentary that I do, but I feel very not very often someone would come up to me and ask me for advices or things like that. But sometimes it does happen. But I think maybe sometimes people they don't want to get too close or too familiar. There's something maybe they're not comfortable with saying things. But I've got like you were mentioning, Bruiser. Like he would come up, like sometimes would be traveling in a van or something, and it'd say like things like, you know, PCO, how can you take those bumps? You know, like how do you do that? And then they put me over sometimes, you know, in front of everybody. That happens sometimes with different guys, but it's not like, let's say we're ready to put a match together. I don't feel that I've got more attention from all the other guys. I feel like everybody is on their game and everybody's there for like having the best match possible, and they don't care. For them it's like, I think for them it's like I've been in the business for 5-7 years. I don't know. I'm as the equal. Like they don't see me with more experience or maybe more knowledge or whatever. Very, very often I've been asked for my opinions and things like that. Well, if I have to give it, I give it. You know, like sometimes I would stand strong on some points where I think it would be important during a match to do something or to do it in a certain way. But I'm not really pushy on things. Just when I think it's favorable to the match. And if it's a 3 against 1 or 5 against 1, then I would just let go with no. It wouldn't hurt me, you know. I'm just trying to have the best match possible. I'm not trying to be the main leader in there. I'm not trying to take control of everything. That's not who I am.
That's great.
Actually, I like everybody throwing ideas and trying to fit minds just in between. I'm not the type of guy who would, you know, lay out the whole thing for everybody.
Right.
Right. You're not a guy that writes it out and let's go back and forth with notes and yeah.
No,
That's cool,
I
though.
just feed off of everybody.
That's cool because you do hear stories about like people that have been in the business for a long period of time, and there's new guys coming in, and the old guard quote doesn't want to work with them or doesn't want to let them have a say or kind of asserts their will and stuff like that. So it's really cool that that you come into it with like that. Hey man, we're gonna have a great match. Let's figure it out. Let's do it. You know,
Sometimes
that
there's guys, they have such a great mind for a business. Like I've been in touch with some guys where they're basically dojo guys, but they have such a great mind for business that sometimes I picked on their brain for new ideas that I have in my mind, and I want an option, like an opinion.
Mhm.
And I would ask, sometimes I would ask younger guys because they have a feel for the pulse for what's going on right now, and I feel sometimes comfortable to ask them what they think about such and such ideas. So
That's so cool.
Adapting-
That's so cool that you're
and adapting is everything. You know,
you're learning from them and they in turn learn from you. That's what everything needs to be. That any kind
but
of
I think it values their opinion. I think they feel valued with their opinion.
for sure.
You know,
Mhm.
that I take their advices, even if they're like they haven't broken in yet. Like you know, they haven't had their first match yet. So I think that's something I like to do.
Well, you
That's
probably don't even realize honestly how important that can be to somebody. And just as somebody who's been in situations where I've been the newest possible person in that situation, and I had an idea, and somebody who was there, a veteran that was there, listened to it and took the idea, whether we used it or not, or whether it was good or not, just listening ignites something in somebody that's learning and coming up, and they go, oh man, like I feel better about asking now, and I feel better about putting an idea out now, and I feel better about letting my, you know, like just doing that, you might not even realize how much you're influencing somebody that's coming up that's going to go on to be great, and you had a big hand in it, you know, or that's just going to have a match with you that night that's going to be better because you took the time to actually listen to him, and you didn't have an attitude of like a, yeah man, whatever, I've been there, you know, big boot, jackknife, we're done.
Yeah, that sounds like something that I lived on another life through another
Right?
lifetime.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah, but that's what I mean, you know, like you're getting to be the person that you probably should have had. You know what I mean? And that's a pretty cool place to be. And I think that's awesome. You know, one of my absolute favorite quotes from you that I learned from like listening to some of your other interviews was, if you don't have a passion, you're dead. Right? If you don't have a passion, you're dead inside. And what fuels me is my failures is a huge thing that like I've heard, you know, you say in different ways in a couple of different interviews.
Yeah.
And I found that to be, that's such a, there's nothing more true than that. You know, if you're not passionate about what you're doing, yeah, you have nothing. And if you're not looking at what you didn't do well, or you're looking at your failures and learning from them, you're not getting anywhere.
Right.
What do you think like is a good piece of advice that you wish you had earlier that you discovered later? Is that the main thing, or is there something else?
Yeah, it's hard to realize when you're younger that obstacles and failures are fertilizer, you know, it makes you grow. You really, even if you kind of hear the line, you're like, fuck that shit. When you're younger, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
You're more on top of the world, and you're not so humble, and you think you know everything, and you're gonna be on top of the world, or you're on top of the world, or nothing can stop you. And it was just it's just such a little bit of an arrogance where you when I was younger, and that's what I realized, that I should have been so much open-minded, so much more into those things, that they were part of my life for, like, I was 12, 13, my eye accident. There's so many things happened to me that I took as a fertilizer, as something that makes me grow. But when I got there, everything leading to the big push in WWE, when I became the World Tag Team Champions, and then at that point, I realized that I kind of lost it a little bit, where I I thought I was better than other people. I thought that I had succeed where not too many people can succeed, and I took too much pride in it, and I lost a sense of humanity and humility, and I was full of myself for a while, And I remember my mom trying to talk to me, or my dad, and it was just I was right, and everyone else was wrong, for a period of time, for sure. And yeah, then I hit rock bottom pretty hard,
Right.
thinking like that, and then it turned into being really miserable and hating a lot of things, and just into like being in such a dark place, where just to come out of that that state of mind was a lot of work on myself to get more mature and to realize all those lessons that had to be learned.
Was there a
And,
specific moment or thing that turned that around for you, or was it just over time?
It was over time, but it was a lot of different things, a lot of different hard things happening to me. Uh, after another one, and then eventually I felt like I had to change my way of thinking. I had to stop hating on everybody, and I had to take accountability, be accountable for everything that happened to me, and I had to take that and being responsible. And then from there, like, everybody started to turn into like more into my advantage in my life.
Right.
There was a turning point. It's hard to say exactly where, and it's been a growing a growth since that day. Even when you're hitting rock bottom, you're still growing, but you don't see much of it. But then since then, I've been having different stages where I feel like each and every time I'm getting more stuff done, and feel more like just more happy and more passionate and more involved in everything that I do, more dedicated, and really into.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I really love that. I love that story. Like, and especially you took a 5-year absence from the ring, and like, here you are later on. Now there's a lot of guys that don't even do what you do right now, and it's like, okay, well, after the fact, I left the ring and I was super jaded and I hated it, and they don't go back, and here you are coming back, reinventing yourself and doing things beyond, I mean, like what I could possibly do. Like, it's so cool.
Yeah. How cool is that? You became a world champion,
like your second career,
in your second run. Like, how awesome is that? Do you think that that was sweeter because you kind of like did that restructuring and found a different vibe and everything?
Definitely for sure. 100%. This was very much more appreciative. Like I was like, I could enjoy more each and every step of it, going, climbing that ladder all the way to that title. It was a hell of a year. 2019 was a hell of a year.
Man.
Yeah.
It was like
You earned it. You earned the shit out of it.
Every show was so special. It was something new that happened all the time. Like during that 2019, the whole Ring of Honor, the 6-man tag, the World 6-man, the World Tag, the NWA tag, the World Championship. It's just climbing. I was climbing up, like success after success after success. It was an awesome year. Yeah, probably the greatest year ever in pro wrestling for me. I just like, I feel like I'm still short of what I had envisioned in my mind. So I still feel like there's a big event, a big something. I can't put my finger on it, but it's got to be something bigger than that. And that's why it's not because I need the money. It's not because, I have to wrestle for. No, it's got nothing to do with that. It's really, I want to really accomplish myself to the fullest. I don't want to leave any regrets and on the table. I feel like I can go, and I want to go until I really reach that level that I felt I was destined to attain. Yeah, there's a lot of faith put into that. It's not easy that every day to to always have that main objective in my mind.
Right.
But it's so, it's like a huge flame inside of me that doesn't want to extinguish. It's still burning hard. That burning desire is still there, and it's not always easy. But I think for me, when I lay down my bed every night, I think there's a voice telling me it's worth the fight. It's worth the
Hey
fight.
man, if it was easy, everybody.
Would just do it.
Yeah. For the fight.
So before, like, I want to ask you one question, and then we're going to jump into. We have a sponsor called Poddex, and so we're going to ask you a random question from something. We'll explain it in a second. But before we get into that, just to go off of what you were just saying, I know that a few years ago, that big overarching goal was like, hey man, Undertaker WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
And that doesn't look like that's going to happen now because of Undertaker. He quit, like it's just, that's his fault. But do you have a specific goal in your head, or are you just kind of looking for that thing now, that feeling, and are you chasing that feeling?
Yeah, sometimes I feel from what I hear, because you get the feed off of what people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a big Sting match, maybe a Jericho match.
Oh, I would like to see that. I would like to see either of those.
I'd love to have like a huge, maybe Cody Rhodes or Kenny Omega angle too. Just because at one point, it was supposed to be me and Cody on a show. This was supposed to main event with not Cody, with Kenny, and I've worked on a few shows where we were on the same card, but we weren't not wrestling each other. But I was before him, and it was after me. Well, we were like just matches in between, and always like that guy. So there's I'm sure there's something big out there, and it could be also it could be with WWE. I don't want to be the guy that just the AEW guy. You know,
Keep doors
I know,
open, you know?
no, but I know that only Vince could probably, Vince could know what kind of entrance it takes, to make
Right.
everything gel together. That the entrance that the Madison Square Garden entrance was a hell of an entrance. It was
It was
probably
so good.
probably made history in Ring of Honor for forever. It's probably the greatest entrance in Ring of Honor history, from what they told me. From the executives.
Oh yeah.
But I think that we can bring it to another level too. I think we can bring it to another level. That was awesome. Like I really had like goosebumps, and that was like really tripping. But
That's awesome.
I think there's another level in that, and I think WWE they're good for things like that. So I feel like I have unfinished business with WWE, but I like a lot of people on the other side that I like too. So
I can think of people in both companies that I would love to see with the ring.
I
would like to see. I mean, I know I've seen you a little bit with Tommy End. I would like to see a Malachi Black on a high profile. I think that would be pretty sweet.
That'd be pretty sweet.
I would like to see that. I'd like to see a Bryan Danielson. I think that would be pretty sweet. I'd like to see a Suzuki. I think that would be pretty amazing.
Guys just beating the crap out of each other. Jesus.
Yeah, there's a lot of, the GCW is good too. Like they're doing great right now with Matt Cardona, with John Moxley, Gage.
John Moxley's another one. Yeah.
I heard you're looking to possibly work with them again, and I hope that's true. I just recently ordered my first real, like, I've watched matches, guys have gone, oh, you got to see this. So I'll watch highlights and stuff like that. But I actually sat down and watched my first real GCW pay-per-view recently. And I was like, man, this is ECW and this is awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. It's like a lot of, really, really good matches. But then there's also like a lot of that weird gimmicky stuff. But but the matches that are really good are really good, really good. So
exactly.
I would love to see that.
So we're going to jump off of wrestling right now because we have a sponsor, and the sponsor is a company called Poddex. And what they do is they put out a series of cards with questions, interview questions, just weird questions, interview topics, stuff like that for podcasters, and they're a sponsor of the show. We love them. We appreciate them. And so what we do is we make a segment where we take our guest and we give them a random Poddex question. So we're going to give you the opportunity to choose from one of these decks of cards. I'm going to give you the topics that you get to choose from, and we're going to do a random question for you. So what we have is we have our basic interview deck and interview tech 2. So if you want to think like Mr. Wrestling and Mr. Wrestling 2, we got those. We've got our How Dare You deck. We've got our What the Heck deck. We also have our WTF deck if you're into the what the fuck type of questions.
And Would You Rather.
And we have a Would You Rather deck. So out of any of those, is there a topic? Is there one of those that kind of pops out to you that's like, I'll answer one of those? Or if you just want to pick by
you
color,
can just pick a color too. That's fine.
Well, just pick one on each deck. How many questions do you have?
Oh no, we'll just do one.
We're just gonna do one from
Just
one
do
deck,
one?
and that.
That's you just got to pick one of the decks. That's all.
What the half deck then?
What the heck deck? There we go.
What the heck?
Let's do it.
WTF or W?
Oh, WTF. Oh,
Let's do it. WTF.
So WTF.
I like the WTF because it's got like the old school MTV logo on it, which is pretty fun. I enjoy that. Mike's gonna take it and shuffle because I can't shuffle. I can't live and work in Vegas for a year, Las Vegas, but I still can't shuffle cards. I'm pretty terrible at it. So he's going to do that. And while he does that, I'll just let everybody that's listening know that you can go to poddex.com. You can check out all the decks there. You can check out some random questions. They have an app so you can put it on your phone. They also have some cool merch and stuff like that. And if you go ahead and decide to order anything from Poddex, you just put in the promo code BACON.
Yes.
And you will get 10% off your entire order. So yeah, definitely go over to poddex.com, check them out, and get yourself some stuff. And what's your baking it up over at Poddex?
So what we are going to do is we're going to fan these out here.
Yep, fanning out the Poddex questions. I'm going to slowly move my finger from left to right, your right to left. You tell me when to stop, and you got a question.
Okay, are you gonna put the video together, or
yep?
You want to do?
Yep, we'll edit it.
You're okay.
You're good. Yep.
Okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna tell you when to stop. All right.
You tell us when to stop.
Stop.
Stopping right here. Perfect. All right. Oh, in one sentence, PCO, how would you sum up the internet? And feel free to be as dirty as you want to be.
No, addictive.
Addictive is, yeah.
Well,
yeah,
in a way that, when you're using internet, it's a good thing. When the internet is using you, that's a very toxic thing.
Yes.
That is the perfect sentence.
That is a quote. That is a quote that I'm going to use.
That is going to be a quote that I use as well. You're good with the quotes, man. I got to say.
I'm just a quote, man.
You got some good ones, man. Seriously.
I mean, we're in like a really unique age, and again, we keep saying it, like, we're musicians, so right now the internet makes it easy for us to be musicians, but also makes it super hard for us to be musicians. And I can see that being like, so for you've got a fan base and stuff like that, so you were able to use that as your, like, okay, I'm gonna recreate myself.
Yeah, you can reach that fan base.
But then also on the other end, like all the negative stuff and the dirt sheet stuff and all the just all that stuff. That's the toxic part. That's where they use you. And it's rough. It's rough.
It is, and also when I say when they use you, when the internet use you, is also when if you're not able to discipline yourself for certain time for business purpose, you can get on it. But if you're always scrolling TikTok videos just to have like the dirt, like you said, and just have like people complaining, bitching about things, and you're staying on there and you're not doing anything really, that's gonna bring you anything, that's you're basically wasting your time,
being productive.
That's when I feel that unproductive, or when you're not doing something productive. If you're there online, and there's tons of videos also on YouTube that I've listened to and I re-listen to, because they're really good videos that really make me better, or things that are really good. It's not any dirt or anything, but it's easy to get lost and just to get scrolling, just watching things and with no purpose. And I think this is toxic too. This and all the bad things. But like,
who's got
you have to stay focused. You just have to stay focused on whatever you want to accomplish. And
I try and remember that the internet is like a fake world.
Yeah.
And so if I spend all my time living in a fake world, I'm not living in the real one.
Yeah.
And so it's fun to visit the fake world.
Right.
Check it out. And like, I can get lost in videos all day long on YouTube, on TikTok, on whatever. Anything that entertains me, stuff like that. But like, if you're just going on to like be mad or make other people mad, then maybe think of something else that you could do with your time, right?
Yeah,
maybe try and enjoy things more.
Yeah, well, sometimes I get caught up, in watching like different like TikTok videos for no reason, and when I watch, the time, and I say, oh, I've been on that for 30 minutes. That's way too much, and then
Right.
that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, I do control my phone, my phone doesn't control me, so I'm in charge of it. My phone's not in charge of me, or internet is not in charge of me. I am in charge of the internet and what internet is going to bring me, or what I'm going to use it for. And for me, it's a great way to promote my career and everything that I've done or that I do to promote everything in my career. But I'm trying to know to stay there. I don't
Yeah.
want to be more than 30 minutes a day, 40 minutes a day. That's the way my average last time I checked, I was at 25 or 20 minutes a day, which is not that much
That's pretty good.
Oh,
when you put on like a lot of posts and a lot of stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty good at it.
So what kind of video? Like, what's a topic that can totally take up your time? That like, what's a thing that can
that
totally
rabbit hole that you fall into.
PCO? Is it cooking shows? Is it cat videos? Is it what is it? What's the thing? What will
right now?
you see?
Right
You go,
now,
okay, I'm in.
No, right now, what gets my attention for no reason whatsoever, that doesn't bring anything to me in my life. And I think there's a reason for that, but it's everything surrounding the pandemic. Everybody,
Yes.
coming up with different theories. Is the mask good? Is the mask no good? It's
Right.
what the vaccine does, what the vaccine don't do. All those topics right now, I do scroll a lot on that, because I want my life, my wrestling career to go back to normal. That's why I'm so interested.
We're all looking for that. Like,
yeah.
when can I play shows again?
So that's why, like even like TV, I'm trying to do something. I'm not a big TV watcher, but during the pandemic, what happened is like, okay, then I got the news here at home, and then I'm trying to get my Fox. So I got both sides of the stories all the time.
Right.
And then usually, never in my life I would really care about politics. I'd say, I could live on my life and it wouldn't have a big impact on my life. But during that pandemic, every move, everything that they came up with was a direct impact on my career, my life, or what I like to do. And I'm sure it's the same for a lot of people, but it was not just a matter of are we too economical, or we're too health wise, or is it too much of one, too much of the other? And then the same dilemma that everybody went through. You're trying to find the right middle of it. Where can we go where the economy won't be so affected and people won't die like crazy, where everybody's going to be okay and the economy is going to be okay, and the border will be like opens for good, because
Yeah.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
You love your weekly dose of bacon as my podcast, but you need even more bacon. Well, just go over to baconismypodcast.com. You can engage even more with us over there. It's a pathway to our music, extra content, our social media pages. Most importantly, grab yourself some pretty sweet swag and put it all over your body parts. Again, that's baconismypodcast.com. Listen to some tunes, pick up some merch, and tell us, what's your bacon?
Hi, this is Annie Stoic from Jackknife Stiletto, and you are consuming the Bacon is My Podcast. Back to you, Jimmy and Mike.
So I had, I was okay to go, because it was like, I was going to work. So, they couldn't stop me from working. So I was okay to go across, but like a few times I had to quarantine when I came back to Canada for 14 days in my house. So it was like, it wasn't that cool. It was not cool at all. And
No,
I
especially
felt,
if you got like, if you're working and then you come home and you're only home for, say you're home for 10 days and you got to
and I
quarantine
couldn't
for
see my
14.
daughter. I
You
couldn't
can't
see
see your
my
daughter. You
parents.
can't.
Nobody. Yeah, basically nobody. And,
Yeah, that's rough for being on tour,
Yeah.
man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What's so other than getting caught up in stuff that has a professional effect on your life or zero effect on your life, what's something that you do search for just for entertainment purposes? What takes your mind off of what do you do when you're not thinking about wrestling and when you're not planning your next move? Like what's your
Yeah, sometimes I do watch video wrestling tapes, wrestling matches,
yeah.
just to get inspired, like from all kinds of area, from the old times to today to whatever, especially if I got something in mind and I want to look into a few things just to make sure it makes sense. And that wrestling, that's a big thing. And also sometimes I like to just go and watch, like I'm really into arm wrestling as well. It's another passion of mine, arm
Oh,
wrestling.
cool.
And I this morning I had the privilege to pull with Devin Larratt, who's a world champion right now, and he's one of the greatest of all time with John Brasink. And it's just to spend some time with Devin and a bunch of world-class arm wrestlers this morning. That was awesome. So
it is awesome.
I posted that video everywhere too on all my social medias, and it was a blast. I mean, Devin is such a star. Devin Larratt is such a star in the arm wrestling world. Like I think in less than 10-15 minutes, like I had already like 5,000 views or I don't know. It was amazing.
Wow.
I mean, he's got a huge name. The arm wrestling community is so big on YouTube, and I posted it right away. Like it blew up, pretty fast. So I don't know.
How long have
but
you been
it's
into
just-
that? Has that been something you've been into forever?
that's another like thing that Destro is a big arm wrestler. Like he's been for a long time, and he's really good. And I was going to practices, and I was always a witness watching everybody going. And and then everybody, when they do start arm wrestling, they're always scared of snapping their arms, breaking their arms, because it's very, very hard on the elbow. It's a lot of tension on the elbows and the shoulders, and I said, well, the hell, I'm not human, so why do I care for? So I went in, and I started to go with the guys, and it's been cool because it's
Oh, nice. Have you got
like I've got a pretty boring life in a sense that my life is very exciting. But if you compare where I was when I was maybe 35 or 40, where I'd like to go and party and be surrounded with beautiful girls and being the center of attentions, and I've done it all. So now I'm at the point where I like to just be totally fresh every day, go to bed early, eat clean, train like a horse, and train for wrestling, train for arm wrestling, and it's all my focus is there. And sometimes there's some things that I think I could have learned a little bit earlier on, but it's easy to say. So I no remorse basically, but it's just that when you realize sometimes that you were doing things that were not productive at all, and it was just a simple waste of time and bringing like dopamine to your brain in a quick way where you didn't really have to work for it. So just realized a bunch of things like that, and it makes me more hungry for what I value and what I want to achieve.
That's
Man,
great.
that's awesome.
That's so awesome. And so now you're obviously working on another career in arm wrestling.
Right. Yeah.
So-
Well, I mean that's just it's just on the side, because I feel doing this, it doesn't take away from my let's say my workout that I would usually do. It really keeps my arm pumped, and my forearm and my shoulder, and it brings a lot to my arms and to my look. And in the meantime, I can use these trainings for arm wrestling, and I could use them for also building mass and strength. So it's not a waste. It's a good compound. It's a good combination. It works well together. So one doesn't take away from the other.
Yeah.
But I focus more on my ring and my wrestling training. But when I feel that it's not like 30 minutes a day that takes away from my full workout. It's incorporated in my workout, so
Right,
I feel good about it, and I'm having fun during those practices and meeting all those people. And it's
a
great.
community, which we community.
Oh, it's a
feel and,
huge,
like, getting
huge
in and-
community.
yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Michael
That's awesome.
Todd from Texas. He's an awesome guy too. I first met Michael Todd at Madison Square Garden, where we had a arm wrestling tournament in between the wrestlers, and then starting there, it was kind of okay. That's cool. I want to do more. I want to learn
Nice.
more about it.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, man. Like, it's inspiring. It's just inspiring to, I mean, one of the things we do on the show is we just want to talk to people that are that have a lust for life. You know what I mean? And they are passionate and learn new things, go for new things, are always open to a new experience or becoming better at the thing that they're doing. And it's all about inspiring yourself all the time, and then by that you end up inspiring others, which is really, really cool. So
Yeah, I mean, so like you're talking to me about, things that I like on the net too. Like, yeah, I like everything that motivates me. Like,
Yeah.
and on different subject, like Porto Vidal. I don't know if you know him. Like,
No.
that's a guy that for a while I was watching his videos and the way he thinks and things, and that really got me doing a lot of things that I hated doing before. And just I've learned so much from him. And same thing with the arm wrestling with Devin, just the champion mentality, so to speak. Like, sometimes you just go in this YouTube video and you see the mindset, and that transpire into everything that I do and into my workouts, and different other guys and different other philosopher and guys like that. I mean, it's I'm just trying to build up more layers of motivation and mindsetting and things like that. That's really what drives me on YouTube too.
Nice. Hey
That's
man, I think
awesome.
you're doing it right. I really do. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. And we were just talking about it before too, and it was just like, man, I feel good. I feel good. Like, there, we talk to a lot of people and stuff like that, but I mean, we Mark Marrow was one guy that we were like, feel really good. We talked to Nick Aldis, and Nick Aldis was, man, we feel really good after this. And now speaking to you and talking to you about your coming back and changing your outlook on life and stuff like that. I hope that our listeners, our consumers, everybody who's watching and listening get what we got out of this, because this has been like super cool. Thank you.
Thank you so much
I'm really wide open. I don't hide that many things. Like, pretty see-through things, you know. So yeah, it's I just feel like if I hope that you know it could inspire someone. If it does, you know, it's just a bonus, you know. Like
Yeah.
like I
Well,
was saying, I've listened to so many people that inspired me. So it's hard not to be inspired when you get inspired with someone, and it's like a chain reaction. Hopefully,
Yeah.
Well, dude, I'll tell you right now, like I've listened to you for the last hour and I'm inspired. So thank you very much for spending
all
that
right.
time
Yeah.
with me. And hopefully our listeners are inspired too.
Yeah.
Like, this is the best part of what we do and why we do it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like this is the coolest thing. So we appreciate your time so much. We're going to wrap it up here because we appreciate your time and we know that you're busy and we're keeping you late. So we appreciate that. But one more time, please let everybody know where they can find you online, where they can find everything about you, and let our listeners know what's going on.
Yeah, on YouTube at PCO Pierre Carl Willette, or on PCO is not human on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We'll have links for all those
We'll
things.
have links for them. Make sure you follow those links because those links are going to tell you what he turns into a free agent.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
And there's a lot of goals happening. I can tell already.
So he's got a lot of things going on and he's got a lot of goals. So follow that. You'll know where he's going next. So PCO, thank you so much for being on. We really, really appreciate you taking the time and hanging out with us.
And for being not human, you are a superhuman. Thank you so much for hanging with us.
Thank you, guys, and wishing you like best of success in your career, and keep killing it with the podcast. It's awesome. Thank you for having
Thank you
me.
so much.
Thank you.
Glad you had fun. Everybody, thank you for listening. And always remember to ask yourself every day,
what's your bacon?
What's your bacon? So that was awesome.
Still buzzing off of that.
Yeah. You heard the intro. You heard the interview. You know it's awesome. Where can they find you?
I am at me, my own self, Mike, both on Twitter, Instagram. Actually, you can catch me on the Facebook at me, my own self, Mike. My band is Something Heavy. You can catch our new single, Surface. It's out now.
It's good. It's really good.
Thanks. On all of the streaming platforms. And you can find Something Heavy at Something Heavy Music on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And then also you can catch our music.
Yeah.
Like we have music
We
together.
do have music together.
And we're going to put another song out.
Yeah.
You've heard it here first. The reason why I'm doing this is because it's not done yet.
Right.
But
so now we have
now
to
we
do
have
it.
to.
Now we have to do it.
Right. So
I like your thinking.
Yeah, that's
smart. I like it.
Keep it
board.
honest.
I'm on board.
So bacon's my passion. You can catch our singles. We're gonna put them out periodically.
Yeah.
Just
Spotify,
whenever.
Apple Music,
all of the things, and
all those
Jimsy.
things. Where you can also find Bacon Is My Podcast.
Yes.
And you can also find baconismypodcast.com, where you can check out literally everything. Our episodes are on there. We've got all kinds of cool swag and stuff on there in Bacon Is My Fashion. We also have links to all of our sponsors on there. So if you don't remember the sponsor from the beginning of the show, you can definitely jump on baconismypodcast.com and check out all our sponsors, get some good deals on some wild bills, or some Grow Your Ass Off or pod decks. Check that stuff out. You can find me. I am Jimmy G. I am Jimmy G's Shoes. Jimmy G's Shoes on the Twitter and on the Instagram. You can find me on Facebook, and you can find my band Craving Strange at cravingstrange.net. There are links to everything, and you can find us everywhere and check out our most recent single, Say It All. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for listening. And what's left? I mean, you should ask yourself something, right?
There's a thing.
There's a thing. What is that thing?
It's a thing.
It's a what is it?
Oh, I lost it.
What's
What's your bacon?
What's your bacon?